What is going on here? Rory Strongman Strength back here in the garage gym for another training day of Strongman prep for the Throwdown at Home Gym Con 2025. So today I've got a yoke behind me with a 200-pound sandbag. I'm going to get warmed up with that, and then I'll move into the 300-pound sandbag and do some loading things because that is one of the events. Sandbag is one of my weakest events, I guess. Not really something I've done a lot of. So getting more reps in with the lighter sandbag will be good, and then I'll go into the heavier one and see what I can get with that. But without further ado, let's get into it. Didn't feel terrible, also didn't feel good. So I'm gonna raise that up a little bit, about 10 inches to 52 inches height of the yoke, and try that again. Oh, that's really high. That's really high. Hope it's not that high in competition. I'm not exactly tall. Yeah, that's too tall. I hope it's not that high in competition, because that'll really suck. All right, so after watching the tape back of that last lift that I failed, I noticed that I was standing a little bit far back from the yoke. So if you're too close, then as you come up with the bag, you're gonna hit the bag on the yoke. And if you're too far away from the yoke, when you come up, you have to lean really far forward to drop the bar over. And that's kind of what I did on that last lift. So what I'm gonna do is try to find that middle ground in between. So that's a little bit too close. So this is all a learning game. Again, like I said, I'm not good at bags or stones or anything like that, so that's why I'm training it. And again, I'm 6 months out from this show, from this competition. So the weight is there. I'm able to move the weight. I just gotta get that technique down. And what I've noticed with Strongman is even though I'm a pretty strong person in general, especially in like static movements, like powerlifting, like squat, bench, deadlift, I'm pretty good at those. There's a lot more technique that's involved with Strongman than there is with, let's say, powerlifting or those static movements. So learning how to move your body in those specific techniques that are more advantageous for those events is something I definitely need to learn and get better acquainted with. So I'm gonna try to do this a couple more times. I'll put it in the time-lapse mode so you're not super bored of watching all this. All right, so I finally got 2 successful loads with a 300-pound bag, but it wasn't easy. Getting it to the bar, I basically had to rest on the bar and push it over. So I wanna try to eliminate that. So for training purposes, and since I don't know what the height of the yoke or whatever we're loading it onto or over will be, I'm gonna go ahead and lower this so I get some more training and better quality reps of actually getting that triple extension movement that you need so desperately in this kind of event. All right, so I've gone ahead and lowered the yoke to 48 inches on the top instead of 52. I know that might not sound like a lot, and whatever you've been told, 4 inches makes a really big difference, okay? 4 inches is a lot, especially when it comes to yoke height. So let's see how well this moves, or not well. We'll find out. At 48 inches compared to 52. See, 4 inches is a lot. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Oh crap. Maybe it's not that much. The last one was a little hard, but the first one went over a lot easier. So hopefully the bar height in comp is closer to 48 inches and not 52, but maybe Kurt, if you're watching, you can put that detail down in the comments if that's something you are willing to disclose. So I'm gonna just do a few more reps of this and really just call it a day. So I'll do probably 3 more sets of 2, loading over 3 or 4 more sets of 2, and then I gotta get out of here, and that'll be today's training. I don't like to do a whole lot of extra stuff on the days that I train strongman because this is already pretty taxing on my whole body. So I think this in volume is enough work. And again, I'm just trying to get my hands on the implements and get more familiar with it and work out some kinks on the technique side of things, since I am, again, 6 months out from the competition. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hit this for probably, I'm gonna say 4 more sets of 2, but I'll put that in time lapse so you don't have to watch the whole thing. I should also mention that I believe the Sandbag event is a sandbag loading race, and 300 pounds is actually already heavier than the competition weight. But with the race, what I'm assuming, again, I don't know the details of it yet, but I assume you're gonna have to pick it up, run with it, throw it over something, run back, get another bag, pick it up, run back, and do that kind of thing. So I think that's what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be a static movement like this, I don't believe. So with that being said, I'm still gonna train this way, because if I'm better at just the general bag movement, I'll be better overall. So I don't know if you guys could tell or not in the time-lapse video, but that last set was the best one by far. The bag went over the yoke very easily. And what I noticed is that I really tried to get underneath the bag more. And then when I lapped it, I tried to sit it way higher on my hips, more on my belly, I guess. And when I came up, I really tried to reach around and get as far under as possible. So that way, when you do the triple extension, it's just a lot easier. It's higher up on your chest already, so it's easier to get over the All right, so I did lie a little bit. I am gonna do one more movement. It's gonna be some sandbag rows with my 200-pound sandbag, because I have a little bit more time than I thought I would before I leave. All right, so I'm gonna do probably 3 or 4 more sets of 10 and call it a day. All right, so as you guys can hear, I'm extremely out of breath from 5 sets of 10 sandbag rows. So when I mentioned earlier that I'm gonna up my cardio, I don't necessarily mean traditional steady state cardio where you're on a bike for 20 or 30 minutes or a treadmill or running. I am gonna do some of that stuff, but the cardio that I like to do is decrease my rest period in between sets. So instead of waiting till my heart rate is back down to normal or close to normal, I like to keep the rest periods relatively short, so I'm still kind of out of breath when I start the next set. Now, I'm not gonna be doing that for my working sets of like the major movement or that implement for the day, because I want that training to be high quality. But for accessory stuff, like what I just did with the sandbag, I'm completely fine with not being 100% recovered in between sets, because again, it's just accessory work. Not that accessory work is not important, but if I get the foundation of my training done, like the sandbag stuff, and all of that training is really high quality, I don't feel so bad sacrificing some of the quality by taking shorter rest periods in between sets. So going forward, I'll implement some steady state stuff, but most of the cardio that I do is gonna be like what I just did. I would consider that cardio, and if you can't tell by my breath, my heart and lungs consider it cardio too. So just a little food for thought. Anyways, I gotta go get my girls. God bless you all. Later. Next video is gonna be log training. I'm gonna be trying out my new grip shirt and grip shorts that I got from Cerberus on Black Friday. So if you wanna see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're notified when that video comes out, probably sometime next week. God bless. Later.